The year 2000 not only symbolized the start of the 21st century, it was also the time of the outcome bubble, or what is commonly referred to as the period of disappointment over the overrated and anticipated boom of the information technology industry. The industry, well, quite boomed, but not to the extent perceived in forecast. At the height of the internet bubble was the realization that the online media needs further modifications. From about 1996 to the early 2000s, the term search engine optimization started to become a common industry phrase. That is because internet that time was rapidly increasing its popularity. The online medium was also reshaping its own landscape. The use of search engines proliferated. That has been due to the fact that the number of global websites shoot up robustly and the volume of contents, both relevant and irrelevant, flooded the internet. And boy, the influx has been quite awesome and overwhelming. To be able to survive the competition, websites have to make sure the content of their sites are appropriate and well accessed by numerous online users. From 1996 to 2000, SEO copywriting was still not formulated. To optimize websites, operators and owners had just needed to formulate and create meta tags or titles and submit the tags and the whole website to directories and search engines so that search listing would include the website. During those years, the concern of SEO specialists was to make sure the search engine ranking was high through visits from online users. It wasn't important whether the site actually made money or successfully sold items. The advent of internet marketing changed the overall landscape of the internet and of SEO rankings. From 2000 up to the present, search engine rankings now depend on the actual number of usual visits of websites, plus the effectiveness of such sites in selling products or calling readers and consumers to action. Now, websites know and acknowledge the importance of keyword-rich content. Copywriting now requires writers to follow keyword densities and appropriate uses. That is because keywords dictate the overall effectiveness and search engine rankings of specific SEO articles. SEO article writing is also referred to as ghostwriting. That is because the actual and real writers of the SEO articles are not revealed. Unlike in usual forms of writing, there is no byline is SEO copywriting. The written output would be considered as an intellectual property and legal ownership of the website to which the content is found and contained. Internet businesses and merchandisers make use of the internet as an effective marketing venue by using websites to directly sell products and services. Usually, there are links and advertisements that are put in various websites so that online readers and intended clients would get to see the ads and click on to make purchases or be redirected to the site of the advertiser. That is how internet sites make prosperous amount of money online. It is somehow exciting to establish your own website or online business because there is great possibility of income generation. If you know how to appropriately strategize to make your SEO content effective and reliable, for sure, you would be able to pull out a lot of income from your internet venture. Once you fully understand the dynamics and concepts behind SEO article writing and internet marketing, for sure, you would be able to maximize the existence of your website or online business and use its potential to be able to generate more revenues and open up more promising opportunities. In fact, SEO techniques and writing make up the modern concept of internet marketing. Understanding SEO. Search engine optimization is very crucial to internet marketing. That is because through SEO, websites and contents are optimized so that link popularity is established. Websites and online businesses should strive to get higher search engine rankings so that more online users and prospective clients would come their way. There are many search engines that proliferate and dominate the internet search market nowadays. On top of the list is Google, which accounts for more than half of overall internet usage for search engines currently. Other search engines are Yahoo, MSN, and AltaVista. If you are researching for a certain subject or topic of interest, you certainly would need to use search engines. Type the keywords pertinent to your inquiry and wait for a few seconds before a complete listing of websites and links are displayed on the screen. Note that with each search inquiry you make, there are hundreds or sometimes even thousands of sites and links provided to you in search results. The problem for you to face is to determine which of those links or sites would appropriately and sufficiently provide you with all your required and needed information. Studies in the past years have shown that naturally and normally, search engine users tend to click the links or websites that are listed on top of the results page. Sometimes, those in the first page of the results also get to enjoy the benefits of online user searches. That is the works of search engine ranking. Search engines have their respective ways of computing and determining search engine rankings, but in general, higher volume of traffic dictates ranking in all aspects. Thus, if you are running a website, you should strive so hard to make sure your search engine ranking is high. To do that, you have to make use of recommended and proven effective SEO copywriting techniques. The content is very crucial in setting the search engine ranking of your website. Search engines categorize sites according to frequencies of usage of definite and effective keywords. You see, search engines have their own lists of commonly searched keywords when users seek information for different subjects. You need to determine those keywords and make sure your content would be rich and generous in the use of those words or phrases. Internet marketing comes in when you are selling products and services through the website. Of course, because there are more users, you would have greater exposure and more people would be regularly visiting your site. Advertisers would also note that fact and would start swooning to place their ads on your website. Of course, when there are ads put into your web page, it follows that there would be income for you, especially if online users click on the ads and make actual transactions via your website. However, to make all those would be possible, you have to make sure that your website is not only keyword rich in terms of the content. Overall packaging and presentation would also matter a lot. Good content is almost always complemented by equally attractive and convenient web page layout and design. To demonstrate the usefulness of SEO writing, it would be helpful if you would imagine this situation. Imagine that you are on the way to office to an important make or break meeting when you suddenly spilled your coffee into your suit. You need to purchase a new one to make sure you would still be in good form and aesthetic appeal for the meeting. You go to a department store, went to a shop and asked the assistance of a sales lady. Upon asking, the salesperson gave you brochures and materials. Looking at the content, you cannot easily locate what you are looking for because the brochure is too wordy and the content is having so many other subjects. You were pissed off and went to another boutique, which has a salesperson that immediately showed you coats when you asked for one. You would naturally buy a coat from the second store. That is like SEO copywriting. The articles are helpful and are direct to the point, saving you all the time, effort, and patience. Helpful SEO tools. The overall effectiveness and use of search engine optimization articles do not entirely depend on the content of the articles. While it is true that interesting and comprehensible content of SEO articles is crucial, it is also important that you take note of several special tools or complementary features or aids that would help the SEO article live up to its purpose. If you are a website owner or operator, you surely would be in search for an appropriate SEO tool that would surely and effectively help in optimizing the overall content and package of the online site and in enticing or catching the attention of online readers. Getting the right tool to complement or accessorize the SEO is crucial and important and at the same time, should be prioritized or given particular attention by the website owner or operator. If you are not yet fully aware and familiar about such tools, it would be helpful if you would get to know the most commonly used and available SEO tools. Here are the most common and easily accessible of them. 5. Keyword suggestion software. Before writing or producing the content to be put in the website, you should be aware that there are proper ways on formulating keywords. The idea behind SEO is that content should be containing basic keywords that are easily retrievable and searchable within the internet. If you are covering a certain topic or subject, it is important that you know which keywords online users usually or often use when using the search engines for such subjects. Currently, giant and leading search engine firm Google Incorporated is offering a feature or program that would specifically do the job described above. AdWords has been launched by Google to serve specifically as a keyword suggestion tool that SEO writers and website owners should utilize initially prior to producing the content. If you would use AdWords prior to outsourcing or producing the content you would post in your website, you would be given more direction into the task. Your efforts would not be put in futile because you are certain you are working on the right and effective keywords. 6. Link popularity checker. Traffic dictates the overall effectiveness and profitability of a website. The more users the web page attracts and engage, the more lucrative the site gets. That is because advertisers, which abound across the internet, would naturally and logically aim to place their investments at the right sites, or those web pages where they could easily and more possibly tap potential customers. It is like television advertising, where advertisers would practically place ads on TV shows that have high ratings or viewership. There are many online businesses that are offering such popularity checking features. It is advised that you employ such services so that you would be able to determine how many online users are actually using or reading your site, and how your website is faring competitively against many rivals and competitors, which are out always to outpace you and get the online user attention every online business is aiming to have. 7. Site Report Card. This tool is essential especially if you are still out to launch the website. Prior to the launch or roll out of your website, you should make sure that your site would be able to monitor itself and be checked about all necessary information. In printing, this activity is more like editing or proofreading before the actual printing and distribution of copies. The site report card would help you generate information about your website, like analysis of keywords, usability and effectiveness of keywords, and so on. You could also check if your content has typographic mistakes if there would be a link failure, which you should ultimately prevent from happening. Effective SEO techniques. Internet marketing is not a complicated concept. Just like traditional marketing, it could be made easier and more effective if you would have the necessary knowledge and skills. If you thought good and effective writing of search engine optimization articles to be posted for your website is enough, you should reconsider your beliefs. Coming up with good and optimized content is sure one way of optimizing your website so that internet users would have more and easier access to it. You should be reminded that traffic matters in the world of internet marketing. The more frequent users and visitors that regularly visit your website, the more your online business is getting lucrative and highly profitable. Online advertisers sure know that if your website is frequently visited, there are greater chances that their ads posted within the web page would get noticed by targeted readers or potential customers. Hence, your online income from maintaining the site would be more significant. There are several effective techniques that you could do to optimize or improve the potential profitability of your website. Follow these simple techniques, which may seem like recommendations to you, to ensure that your website would be more effective in its goals of luring more regular users and potential clients for you and your advertisers. 8. Register or submit the content of your website to as many directories as possible. If you would be able to submit it to search engines, it would also be good, though when your web page is activated and visited by users, it would automatically be included in the list results from search engine searches. There are several specialized software in the market that would help you regularly submit content and websites to as many other sites and online businesses as possible. Ensure that your website is properly indexed by giant and popular search engines like Google, Yahoo, and MSN. 9. Of course, it would count a lot if you would make your website as unique and interesting as possible. Being different is often helping invigorate curiosity and patronage among online readers. Good, reliable, informative, and comprehensible content would help a lot in making sure online readers would keep on coming back to the website. Word of mouth would result, making up for a better and more effective advertising. 10. Create reciprocal links with other websites. Online businesses, though there is intense competition, is facilitating for healthy coexistence and cooperation. In building reciprocal links, you would be agreeing to post ads and links of other websites. In turn, your ads and links would be posted in theirs. Regularly check out if your links are well placed and posted in your partner sites. 11. Develop a sitemap for your website. Sitemaps are like table of contents that are placed on top of the page or above the entire content. The map contains the basic content of your site and will make it easier for online users to navigate and roam around within your website. 12. Of course, the best and topmost effective technique in optimizing your website is through making the content reliable and worth reading. It is true that the internet contains all the basic information people would need. Because it is wide and easily utilized by all sorts of people and website developers, expect that there are too many contents that are false and are not worth reading. Make sure the content of your website do not fall within that category. If your website is good enough, there would be word of mouth to be started by satisfied readers. The popularity of your site would rise and more people would check it out. If there is satisfaction among readers, they surely would keep on coming back for more, in which case, you may need to regularly update your site. Strategic SEO rules. There are many search engines that are operating in the internet. For sure, when doing your own searches, you are using the services of the search engine, which you think is highly reliable based on your experiences. When you search for data, information, and content online, you do not directly type and guess website addresses. The usual activity is that you type keywords or the main subject of your search in the dialog boxes of search engines. Within seconds, you would be provided with numerous addresses and links to websites that are likely to contain what you are looking for. If you are running and operating a website, that should be your basic aim, to make sure searchers and online users would easily find you when they do search engine searches. There are three major search engines that matter today, namely Google, Yahoo, and MSN. These search engines have their own standards and practices in determining search engine rankings of websites, which would dictate and determine if a website would be placed at the first page or on top of the list in the first page. Many websites are dying to be on the top of the list, or at least listed on the first page of search results. That is because studies have shown that websites on top of the lists are more likely to lure online users. The page listing also indicates the popularity of websites. Those in the top of the lists are definitely and logically those that are browsed and visited more often. You need strategies if you want to ensure the search engine optimization of your website. Do not fret because it would not cost you much or require you too tedious tasks to optimize or boost the popularity of your website. Here are 3 basic rules that would help you strategize in this endeavor. 13. Pay attention to the layout of your website. When developing your own web page meant for profits, be sure to make the site as interesting as possible. Before looking at the content, be sure you are working for an effective, creative, and useful page layout for your site. You see, online users get stressed when layouts of websites are too disorganized or poorly designed. Imagine yourself reading a broadsheet. Notice that if the layout of the pages is too compressed and boring, you tend to dread reading the content. In the end, you throw the broadsheet and find for others that would be kinder to your eyes and would be easier to navigate and read. That is also the case for websites. If users find your site too compressed and too tight to the eyesight, chances are that they would discontinue reading or checking your website out. 14. Sprinkle the entire content of the website with the basic and optimized keywords relevant to the topic or the theme of your website. It would be advisable that before you write SEO articles or hire others to do so, you have a list of keywords that should be emphasized and made visible throughout your website. Otherwise, your site would not be getting the aimed page ranking and usability you desire. Be reminded, however, to make your content interesting and informative, aside from being keyword-rich. 15. Establish links with other websites. You could coordinate with other websites that also have the same theme as yours. You could build links by having their sites and links in your site, and in exchange, your links would be posted and contained in their websites. Often, link building helps websites be indexed by search engines. The more links your site develops, the more popular it could get, and the higher its online search ranking could get. Be cautious though in choosing websites that you would establish links with. If a website is banned in search engines for absurd and offensive content, you might also get the same ban if you would develop links with that prohibited site. Tips for better SEO writing. If you aim to hit it big in internet marketing, you should start by ensuring that your website is effective and appealing to online users. Your web page is truly and practically the best and most effective marketing tool you would ever have. That is why you have to make sure that your site is equipped with relevant and effective information within a content that is appropriately formulated and written to cater to various types of target online users. To help you make sure your website is fully and effectively optimized, it would be ideal if you would pay particular attention to the content you are posting. Remember that the content is the gist and soul of your website, and it is what search engines and readers would read. The website could never stand to itself if there is no accompanying words or articles that would keep online visitors glued and attuned. Here are several guidelines on how you could ensure the quality and effectiveness of your search engine optimization articles. 16. Compose effective headings and taglines. You should pay attention to taglines because they catch the attention in search engines. Significant points and content of the website are emphasized through the use of effective taglines. The headings, on the other hand, are titles that make people read the content more. Weak taglines and headings almost always make the overall effect and impact of the SEO article futile. 17. When doing the SEO articles, consider the expertise of your website. Write according to how you want your website to be categorized and used in the market. Search engines surely would categorize your website according to its expertise, so make sure the content of the site is appropriate and in line with what people would expect from the site. 18. When writing SEO articles, strive to create strong lead sentences and paragraphs. The first sentence of every composition is the most crucial because it is the start, the part which readers always look at first. If the beginning of the article is weak, then chances are that the readers would not stick out to read the entire piece. In turn, the reader would continue on the search process and check out other websites to seek for the information he or she needs. 19. Keep the target readers in mind when writing the article. Remember that the internet is free-flowing and is a very broad medium. There are too many internet sites from all across the globe, and the demographics of the online users is also wide and significantly varied. To be effective, strive not to cater to all the online users. Instead, decide on the specific and particular profile and demographics of online readers you intend the content for. This way, your writing would be more effective. For example, if you aim to please and inform kids, make your SEO copies kid-friendly and very simple. Do not try to please the parents by including jargons and technical information. If you do, the kids would be turned off and find for some other website for them. 20. Make your SEO copy as attractive and as enticing as possible. If you know your intended readers well, you surely would be able to relate to them. Understanding their needs and preferences would help you write an article that would most likely please and relate to them. Try to touch on the reader's emotions, and for sure, you would instantly make that well-needed connection. 21. Be assertive and call the readers to action. If you are selling a product, be direct to the point in asking readers to buy or patronize the product. Emphasize what you want readers to do upon reading your article. Above all, remember that SEO writing is like general business writing. Be simple and be utterly frank or direct to the point. Online readers' attention is hard to keep, so make sure your website would establish an impression instantly upon first encounter. How to create effective SEO titles. Back in elementary and in college, you were taught in school that to be able to make a written output effective and excellent, you first have to make sure the title is attention-catching. That principle is very much applicable to search engine optimization writing. If you notice, you would also be more inclined to read an online article if you find the title engaging and informative enough. Otherwise, you would just drift away and find for some other articles at other websites. You need to make the title as engaging and as informative as ever. As a writer, you should strive to do that because you know the overall quality of the content would be put to waste if the accompanying title fails to summarize and represent what the article is all about. To be able to do such a sensitive and important task, it would be helpful if you would take note of the following simple guidelines. 22. Utilize appropriate and effective keywords. Keywords are given particular attention when writing for optimization. That is because search engines recognize and detect the keywords used in articles. Those keywords help search engines categorize the content of the article. In turn, online users would find it easier to retrieve and find your article or the content of your website. You could try using Google's AdWord to get the relevant and the often used keywords in online searches for the subject or theme of your website. If you sprinkle your content with the right amount of recommended and effective keywords, expect that online views and readership would shoot up, and in turn, online page ranking would be greatly boosted, to the benefit of your website. 23. Compose your SEO title very carefully. Spend enough time creating the appropriate title for the SEO article. After knowing and deciding on which keywords to properly use in the title, the next and more important challenge would be to arrange such keywords in order to formulate a phrase or simple sentence that would effectively serve as your article's title. Give emphasis to the most important keyword by using it primarily and first in the title, to be followed by the other or supporting keywords. 24. Keep the title as short and as simple as possible. Titles need not be long to be effective and attention-catching. On the contrary, article titles more effectively render information and solicit attention if they are short. Say goodbye to long titles because they are not really effective as long as SEO writing is concerned. 25. Do not mislead using the SEO title. Many websites fall to the mistake of making the title truly catchy and interesting, when in turn, the content or overall message of the article body does not cover or represent the title. That practice is a form of misreading. Readers would be linked and directed to your site in hopes that they would get content as promised in the title. If you do this, your website would have the reputation of misleading the public just to lure online users and readers, a practice that soon urges users to punish the site by not visiting it again. 26. Strive to be different. Uniqueness helps online sites entice more users. Online visitors are almost always bored because there are millions of different websites. They would tend to stick out to sites that contain very interesting titles, above all. The title almost always gives it all. If the title is cutting an edge and is exciting, for sure, more visitors would log in to read the whole of the article. No one can underestimate the value of titles to SEO articles. To ensure that your effort in making the whole of the content or article would never fall futile, be sure to make or compose the best titles you could think about and come out with. In-house and outsourced SEO. Search engine optimization is identified as the most effective and necessary strategy for internet marketing. If you are running a website, or if you are planning to roll out one, you should decide and strive to make your online presence as searchable and as informative as ever. There are too many websites already operating in the internet. Your utmost aim and target should be how to effectively win the interest and patronage of online users. Fortunately, there are measures on how you could ensure that your online content is made perfect and effective for your intended purpose. For your website to operate and survive, you should create and post worthwhile and highly informative articles. SEO articles would help you carry out your tasks and aims of reaching out to your intended readers and customers. You could decide to write your own articles for the perusal of your very own website. Or ultimately, you could decide to hire professional writers to do the job for you. If you are a skilled and talented writer, you should have the confidence to write your own content because you would understand your own needs and preferences when it comes to your own site. If you think you are not effective enough to be a good writer, you should consider seeking the help and outputs of other writers. In-house SEO writing is widely practiced. In this setup, the website operator writes the articles himself or hires a person to do so. The writer would be in the direct hire of the website, and he would be tasked to take care of the content requirements and needs of the website. When your website is keeping an in-house pool of SEO writer or writers, you should always monitor the quality and standards and the diligence of the writers. Failure to do so would endanger and possibly compromise the effectiveness and reliability of your site. Many website owners and experts assert that SEO outsourcing is far better than keeping an in-house pool of SEO specialists or writers. Through the process of outsourcing, you could take the option of hiring individual writers or freelancers or hiring an SEO specialization company to handle the job. It has been clear that many websites prefer to hire the services of SEO firms because doing so would ensure that requirements would be met as well as the deadlines. It is assumed that in SEO companies, there is a team of writers that are producing and contributing outputs. Thus, even if the article need is quite urgent or abrupt, SEO firms would more likely be able to meet deadlines and render the needed quality of outputs. Hiring SEO companies as outsourcers for the content would also help lessen or reduce the stress you could incur in developing and maintaining your web page. You would not worry about your daily requirements and needs for articles anymore. The SEO company would take care of that. There are too many SEO firms that are operating across the internet media, so you can be sure that there is intense competition. Thus, you would find that it would be to your advantage since you would have a wider selection of firms to choose from. As for pricing, it is true that comparatively, asking prices of hired SEO firms would be more significant. If you hire individual writers or if you decide to write the outputs for yourself, you would constantly be bogged by worries over whether you would be able to meet targets on time and in quality. Those worries are eliminated completely once you decide to hire SEO firms. Introduction to Internet Marketing. Traditional marketing has been made more effective, interesting, and modern with the advent and popularity of Internet marketing. Internet marketing is the process in which products and services are marketed via the online medium. Internet marketing rides on the overall popularity of the Internet. Nowadays, you know that almost every important transaction is coursed through the online medium. People used to just search around the internet for research information and education until the medium facilitated the conveyance of entertainment. Now, the internet is a venue where online shopping sites are operating. You could also actually do banking transactions and money transfers online. The most important and innovative function of the internet to consumers is its facilitation of online purchases. Now almost all items are sold and bought via online sites. There are special websites that act as online shopping and auctioneering sites. As for payment modes, electronic purchases or transferring of funds is taking effect. That is through the use of credit cards. All online marketing transactions are conducted and funded using credit cards. If your website is not directly selling products and services, you could still have your share in facilitating purchases. Links can be established in your site that would enable the user or visitor to be redirected to the specific website selling the product. Through that established link, you could actually generate income. Depending on advertising and link building agreements, you could also generate income just by keeping the link or making sure your online visitors would click on the links. As discussed in the preceding sections, internet marketing is heavily reliant on the search engine ranking of a website. Search engine ranking indicates the popularity and usefulness of a website. If the ranking is high, the website surely has its own following already, or is regularly checked out or visited by online users. Thus, advertisers would prefer to establish links or place ads in websites with high search engine ranking. In turn, to boost search engine ranking, you need to spice up your website and make sure specific and useful keywords are generously used throughout the content. Voluminous use of pertinent keywords would enable your website to be listed on top of search result pages for the keywords. However, do not compromise quality of content just to make sure keywords are well sprinkled throughout the site. To be able to make regular clients and users out of your online visitors, regularly update the website. Offer new and exciting things and be informative, accurate, and reliable as possible. If your credibility as a website is established, for sure, there would be word of mouth about the perks of your site. In turn, there would be more opportunities for generating revenues for you. And that would all boil down to, what else? Money, money, money. SEOs and the pay-per-click strategy. You surely would have heard about pay-per-click or PPC advertising. If you have been operating and maintaining your website for quite some time, it is imperative that you know about the dynamics and nature of PPC. There are just a few means on how advertising is carried out across the internet, and PPC clearly sets the modern standards in such ad strategies. So you have your website and you are aiming to generate income or make the web page a means of ensuring a steady cash flow. You know that you need to boost and further improve the overall quality of your online site. If you are successful at doing so, you would surely monitor to see that your overall search engine ranking has been high. That means more online users are regularly visiting your site, and there is a greater possibility that there would still be further growth. There are numerous researches that have established that high search engine ranking really works in ensuring that more online users would get to utilize and regularly visit the site. If that is the case, you know that online advertisers flock around those websites with very high search engine rankings. Ad placements are the usual source of income for television and print media. Now, advertisers are starting to prioritize those media less and are starting to shift focus towards the internet. When placing online ads, advertisers usually employ the PPC strategy. To make use of PPC, the online user would automatically be redirected to the website of the advertiser upon a mouse click. Once the online user gets there, the advertiser would then make sure the prospective client is well informed about products, services, and overall offerings of the site. Relying on persuasion, the advertiser's site would make sure the online client makes the purchase. If that happens, there would be a commission to be given to your website for facilitating the link between the website and the customer. That is how modern online ads work nowadays. PPC facilitates for a more convenient and accurate means of computing and determining ad rates and impositions. Online advertising is now made more systematized and fair. No party would ever complain about different or varying ad rates. To be able to help persuade online users to click on the PPC icon within your web page, it would be helpful if your content would set the mood. This will boil again to ensuring that your website is as effective and reliable a source of information and pertinent data. The ads should also be in line with the overall theme of your website. Indeed, SEOs are truly helpful. The internet's overall usefulness and effectiveness is really boosted with the use of such strategies as the PPC and other income generating tools and measures. The next time you run a search engine activity, observe and you would surely understand more the workings and advantage of SEO for an effective and lucrative internet marketing.